Alright, so a few of you have been asking me, what are these books right here behind me that are stacked up? Well, in one word, it is Precursor. If you've never heard of Precursor before, it's just a periodical magazine that was first published in June of 1983 and ran for 13 years for a total of 100 issues. These magazines are very hard to get a hold of, the physical copies, but you can still buy them in the PDF format, which I did. And these books I have right here is a product of me just doing a project of turning these PDFs into these 5 giant hardbound books that you see right here behind me. I'm very happy with the way they turned out, and I sort of designed a new sort of reimagined cover of the old ones, and I couldn't be happier with them. And the reason why I love Precursor so much is because, well, the name says it all, Precursor. I want to read something to you out of the first issue in the introduction of the very first magazine. So this is what it says here in this introduction of the first issue. It says, "The aim of the Precursor is to provide to the Magic Fraternity a magazine devoted mainly to revolutionary and experimental close-up material. At the present time, there are a number of magazines devoted to commercial close-up routines for the performing magician. Hopefully, we will be able to provide a journal to record these ideas, and it may not be commercial at the present time, but with some adaptation, could very well be the miracles of tomorrow." What this means, basically, it's up to the reader to take these experimental ideas from these precursor books and turn them into commercial and workable pieces, something that I love to do. There are a ton of good ideas in these books, and so what I plan to do with these is do exactly what it recommends to do, is to take these ideas and turn them into miracles and commercial workable pieces for you guys. Just a little bit more info on these books. Here's some of my notes here. They were written by Bill Measle and Ed Eckel, and it was a contribution magazine with different contributors such as Michael Skinner, Stuart James, Ken Krenzel, Max Maven, Ed Marlowe, J.K. Hartman, Gene Mays, Lou Gallo, Jean Rockerbomber, Bill Kalush, Chris Kenner, Carl Fulvis, Mel Stover, and Martin Gardner. I mean, come on! So the first piece that I want to share with you out of volume 1 here is a trick called the Einstein card trick by Al Thatcher. Now, originally it was done way different, but like the book suggests to do, I've changed it and streamlined it to a sort of an entertaining piece and an easier handling, and handling that makes more sense. Anyway, let's just stop talking, get right into it. Okay, so here's how the presentation would look. I will demonstrate this, and then I will teach you exactly how it is done, okay? So here's how the presentation would be. So Albert Einstein was actually a huge fan of card magic. He loved the mathematical properties of a deck of cards, and he created himself formulas to do card tricks. It was crazy. So why don't we try this? We can get the deck a shuffle like this, and somebody really can do this, and they can name a number, but since I don't have anybody and we'll make it completely random, we'll just choose one out of this mess at random, okay? So why don't we go for maybe this one right here, okay? That card will be our random number generator, and I'll square these up, and we'll do this here. So square these up. This is always the hardest part, to square these cards up after a table wash, of course. So we have a 5. So we make 5 piles of cards, right? So we just can do a sloppy 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 piles. So now we just pick the top cards up of all the piles like this, and we'll do this. Now it doesn't even matter what order these cards are in. It can be a completely random shuffled mess like this, just like those others, but these 5 cards should clue us into something about Albert Einstein. So first, what we'll do, as this was his formula, this is crazy. He spelled his own name, Einstein, like this, so he would just spell a card for each letter, so it'd be E-I-N-S-T-E-I-N. And then what he would do, he would eliminate cards one by one, going like this: one on the deck, one underneath, one on the deck, one under, one on, under, one on, and right here. So we're left with one single card out of all these cards we could have had, provided all those random decisions made by the participant. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen this or not, but Albert Einstein has a famous picture holding his favorite card. And I have it right here on my phone as my lock screen. You can see that. He's holding the Jack of Spades. You can see that. That's his favorite card. I don't know why, but that was his favorite. And using his own formula, maybe we could find his own favorite card. Okay, so a pretty good self-working trick, and what's different about this than the one in Precursor is that it was done with a larger packet of cards, like a quarter of the deck, and so it took a lot longer for you to do that down-under deal, right? But with this, it's just like a small number of cards, like a little like 5 or 6 cards or something like that, and here's how you do it. And it was done with a selection, and this one is done with a prediction, which you can do it both ways, but I prefer the prediction method. And in fact, this prediction on my phone, the Albert Einstein holding a card, I made this. And if you want to use this, I'll leave a link down below to where you can download this photo, and you can have it for yourself as well. But like I said, if you're using a selection, it does not matter at all, okay? So what you want to do is you want to have the person make piles of cards, and your target card has to be on top of one of those piles, okay? So if it's on top of the deck, we'll use that Jack of Spades in this example, here's a good idea to use. You ask them to cut off a little bit of cards, like just a few, and put them right here. And you have them keep doing this until there's like a good row of cards. And the thing you want to keep in mind here is that it has to be between 4 and 8. So it can be either 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 cards, okay? So it can't be anything below 4, and it cannot be anything above 8, or it has to be those numbers exclusive. So having that in mind, you can have them keep cutting like this. And cut one there, yeah, cut one there, cut one there. Oh, do you want to, and give them free choices too. Do you want to keep those how those are, or cut one more time? It's up to you. Maybe they cut one more time. So already you only have 6 here. So you can be like, oh, do you want to cut one more pile in half? It's up to you. Maybe they go for that one right there. It doesn't matter at all. You basically want to give them as many free choices as possible, right? So it doesn't matter. In this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you know where your target card is on top of that first pile. So you do this, you just put them on the table one by one, making sure the target goes first. So it'll be the bottom card, okay? So you just put all these cards there like this, and just hand them to them, okay? So you're just like this. So it doesn't matter whether this is 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 cards, just as long as your target is on the bottom of the pile there, okay? But but doing it this way, I think it makes sense, and there's sort of no restriction on them just taking cards. So the cutting, I think, justifies that pretty well. Now, all there is left to do is to spell the word Einstein, transferring one card from the top to the bottom, and then doing a down-under deal. All right, it works every time, no matter what number you have from 4 to 8. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll do, E, I, N, S, T, E, I, N, and then do a down under deal. So like this, it's always down first and then under, so down under deal, right? So you're like this, and you always end up with the target card being the only one that's left after that. So that's pretty good. If you are curious about the original version, basically it goes like this. You want to have more than 11 cards in this case, so 11 or nothing below 11, all right? So actually nothing below 12, all right? So 12 and above you want to have, okay? So a small packet of cards like this, okay? So now, again, the target card is on the bottom of the deck, and in this case, you will spell the Einstein trick, which already takes longer anyway, and I never really liked it, so I'll just keep it face up. So the Einstein trick, THEINSTEINTRICK. Now you simply do the down under deal with this big packet, which I never liked at all anyway. It just takes too long, and it's just, I don't know, it's it's tedious, and with a larger packet, it's get to the point already. So doing it with a smaller amount of cards, I think, is the way to go for this trick. Whoops, there we go, and you're left with a card. And so that way is fine if you like longer drawn out procedural card tricks, but I find doing the 4 to 8 packets like this is a much easier way to go, and doing a prediction with this cool picture I think adds a lot to it. So there it is. This is the Einstein card trick. I hope you enjoy it.